Don't mind the fizz. But we're back once again on yet another episode of Days of Our Sooners. Cue the theme music. It's where we talk about the never-ending soap opera that is Oklahoma football. I am Britton Summers with my dad and Oklahoma sports aficionado, Todd Summers. How you doing, Dad?
Doing great. Hello, fans.
We're talking about a real rivalry. We're talking about an old-school rivalry for the OU Sooners.
One of the biggest and the best of all time.
Oh, yeah. Nebraska. We're playing Nebraska. Old rival.
I hate that some of these old rivalries are ending with all the new realignment of the conferences and the leagues, but it was good to see the old Cornhuskers again this year.
Oh, yeah. And what a game it was. It was, it's one of those games I like to call They Just Raised the Village, where they were beating them so bad, I was like, oh, think of the children of you.
I loved it.
Oh, I loved it too. I thought it was a great game. I mean, it felt good to be a Sooner again.
It did, and, poor Nebraska.
I know. It's like, oh, God.
Wow.
They lost their coach. Casey Thompson's over there.
Yeah.
He likes going to our rivals for some reason.
He does like that, and he never does well. Didn't turn out well for him. And I hate it for their fans. They've got some great fans, and I've heard that they're very classy. I've never been to Nebraska for a game, but classy fans. It's like the John Blake era, but much, much longer.
Ugh.
Ouch. I saw some of the guys in the crowd just looking down, looking like they had some tears in their eyes.
Ooh, yeah.
Sad.
It was a straight up massacre.
Yeah.
Right there.
But better them than us. I'm glad we're still feeding that monster.
Yeah, no, this is really the game where I actually started feeling a little more confident, because in all honesty, I mean, I know Brent Venables was a first-time head coach. I know he coached for a long time, but, I was like, I hope he wasn't, overhyped, and he isn't, luckily.
No, he's not. He's living up to the billing, and I love just his thought process. We're up, 35-7 at halftime.
Yeah.
And I was watching the coach's show, and he said something that really stood out to me, which was, we play to the standard.
Oh, yeah.
All of us play to the standard. We don't play to the scoreboard. We don't play to the opponent. We play to the standard, and that's the kind of attitude I like.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, this team looked great. At least they did right here. So,
they did. They looked very impressive on both sides of the ball, all three phases of the ball.
I mean, it started out kind of slow, but, after Dylan Gabriel ran that epic 61-yarder, which I think was the longest of his career.
It was, and
so far, anyway.
Venables gave him a nickname, Sweet Feet.
Not bad.
I like that, and I can't get a good pulse on him just yet. So the first game looked like he had some good runs. The second game he looked like Landry Jones. So I started thinking, well, he's not that athletic. And then he busts off that 61-yard run, which was incredible.
Great control too.
Tiptoeing down the sidelines. I thought for sure he had stepped out when they were reviewing it, but no, he stayed in the whole way and took it to the house. We had some great blocking downfield. I saw guys driving those poor Nebraska kids out of the back of the end zone.
No illegal guys downfield or what. We got a couple of those penalties last week.
We did. It's hard. I think they have those run-pass options, so the quarterback's got to get rid of the ball quickly, or the lineman think it's a run. So, but yeah. I can take those penalties, but all in all, very clean game for the Sooners. Both sides of the ball looked great, other than the Deshaun White.
Oh man, yeah. I'm like, dude, I don't know if it was just like he accidentally ran into him that way, or if he meant to do it. I have no idea, but that was kind of disappointing. I'm like, no targeting.
Yeah. Looked like he got a little excited and wanted to blow the quarterback up, and then ducked his head, and there you go. See you next week.
Man.
But all in all, what'd you think about the? Obviously, the start of the game was a little loose.
Yeah, I know. I was getting some unpleasant flashbacks to last year.
Yeah, that first touchdown drive they had some good running plays against us, and then the guy.
Well, I missed it. I had to go to the bathroom.
Uh-oh.
But then he busted out that touchdown. I was like, all right, let's see what we do. And then after that, it was just pure OU.
Oh yeah.
It was just. Oh, it was terrible.
I think after we scored 7 out of 9 possessions, all touchdowns. So that's pretty good production right there.
We did have a shanked field goal though. That was only, that was.
A little nervous about our kicker. I'd like to see him kick one and make one, get some confidence.
He's not not Hannah, but that's my teacher.
Burkick?
Not Burkick. Who's that other guy? It was like Honey something.
Oh, Honeycutt? Yeah, Honeycutt. Yeah, he's no Honeycutt. But hopefully he'll get a long.
But I mean, he can chip them in. It's not too much of a disaster.
No.
But yeah, I love the performance, and one of my favorite sports commentators, Gus Johnson, was doing the commentating. At least for the first half, he left for some. He said he was feeling under the weather.
Yeah. Which
sparked some humorous tweets. He's like, he was so disgusted with Nebraska football, he faked an illness and left.
He was ready to go back to the hotel after that first half.
Oof.
Yeah, Gus is a great one. I hope he's feeling better and back next week. So hopefully it was just like the Hershey Squirts or something like that.
Man. But yeah, I love Gus Johnson. I love his excitement. He always brings the
Hollywood.
Yeah, I heard he's at the Cardinals now. Marquise Brown.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I haven't seen him play yet. I have not been watching NFL. I'm still in golf mode right now. So. But I'll get into it when it cools down a little bit.
But yeah, OU was looking great.
Yeah.
Or at least they were this week. I'm just hoping they keep up the speed.
Yeah, they've got Kansas State next week. I don't know if this was a test or not. I don't know if we're that good or Nebraska has just folded the tent and ready for the season to end. But we'll find out this week against Kansas State. Although they lost to Tulane last week, which was a little shocking.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Kansas State's always... would tough be the right word? They're always they always put a challenge at least.
Yeah, they're scrappy.
Yeah, they're scrappy. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, they're very scrappy.
It's like when Texas plays us. They pull out all their guns when they play against us.
Yeah, you can't ever take Kansas State for granted. They really
they've beaten us a couple times.
They beat us at home a couple times recently.
No.
And then last year we had to recover an onside kick to salvage the game.
Oh God, I got a tattoo that day.
Yeah, that's right. We had
the tattoo guy and I were watching it. We're like, damn it! That was a big suck.
Yeah, we pulled it out though last year. The year you got the tattoo was the year we lost, I think.
Yeah, last year that was another one. I was really pissed off by Lincoln Riley's coaching in that game.
Right, I think we were up 21, and then they come all the way back, and then we have to recover an onside kick.
They almost did, but they almost came back on us, and I'm like, Lincoln. What, it was one of my many head-shaking moments last year at that other coach that was with us last year.
Right. So let's talk about the offense. So Dylan had a great run. What do you think about his passing game? Is he getting more accurate?
Offense looked good. They started slow, like I said, but they quickly got the rhythm. It wasn't like Again, I still feel the after effect. I'm still feeling the hangover of last year.
Yeah, we got our Tennessee transfer Morris back, and looked like the offensive line protected well.
It looked better than last week. 'Cause last week they looked kind of sloppy until the second half.
Yeah. And then what did you think about the running backs? Eric Gray, Marcus.
Oh, Gray was fantastic.
Yeah, he had 113 yards.
He's great throughout the game.
Then Marcus had a couple of touchdowns.
Oh yeah, he busted one in, didn't he?
Yeah, and then I think Walker, he played really well.
I mean, I'll admit I was kind of nervous about this game because rivalries are always barn burners, or not always, but a lot of the time. Rivalries are not to be taken lightly, and I was kind of nervous that you guys would let their guard down. And I mean, Nebraska was already pretty mad because their coach left.
Yeah, nobody expected the beatdown that we put on him. As a matter of fact, your boy Urban Meyer and Reggie Bush picked Nebraska in the pregame.
Ooh.
They were feeling that sting at halftime.
I was surprised. Urban Meyer came out of his hidey hole to commentate because he lost a lot of street cred after the Jacksonville debacle last year.
Well, he's a good commentator and he knows what he's talking about. But even some of Venable's quotes were, I think when he made that.
But yeah, I was not expecting that beatdown.
Yeah,
I was pleasantly surprised. Let's say.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work.
Exactly. What about the receivers? What did you think about Marvin in the game?
Oh my gosh, Marvin Mims was killing it.
Yeah.
Like M. Farouk was doing great too.
Yeah, I was glad to see him get involved.
Willis did better last week. He was kind of like not bad, but he was kind of shaky last week.
Yeah, he had a rough week last week, but he had a lot of nice catches this week, and he had a touchdown pass. I didn't expect that one.
Yeah, I guess Levy's pulling out all the weapons.
Yeah, we usually save that kind of stuff for Texas, but he pulled that one out early on, and I heard him in an interview, and he said that he wanted to make sure we put the game away right then and didn't want to hold back. So
That's respectable, man.
Go for it.
It's better than nothing, man. It's
put the game away.
I was glad we kept putting the pedal on the gas. It wasn't just until like the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter was kind of boring, but aside from that, it was.
I love the close games, the nail biters, the heart attacks.
Oh God!
But I also love when I get to see all the backups in the fourth quarter. And
I don't love them. They give me anxiety attacks, but they're fun games in hindsight, though.
Right, if we win them, that's right.
Anyway, yeah.
What about Drakey Stoops? What do you think about him?
Yeah, he's good. Yeah. I don't know if he did anything as impressive as last week, but he's good. He's a good receiver.
I like the way he catches the ball and turns it straight upfield. Gets as much yardage as possible.
I liked Gray's toughness. Speaking of that,
yeah,
dude, he was like clawing for it even when he was getting like short gains.
Yeah, he's running hard and running tough, holding onto the ball, which is great. So I think he's really come a long ways from last year. I wasn't really impressed with him last year. I was happy we had Kennedy Brooks in there, but this year I'm very surprised and pleased with him.
We adjusted, as they say. I think anyway.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like. I don't know. I'm hoping Kansas State. I hope we keep up the good work with Kansas State next week because, like you said, they're scrappy.
I think if we keep our heads straight and focused, then we'll do great against them. If we start thinking, "Ooh, we're OU," all we have to do is roll our helmet out there and we're going to win because we're OU. That's when we get in trouble. But if we go out there and play with that Venables toughness, I think we'll put a whooping on them.
Well, yeah, sometimes teams get complacent. And, one of the things I liked about Bob Stoops is, that would sometimes happen, but he never let it happen. He never made the same mistake twice.
Yeah.
At least in a row, anyway.
Yeah, Venables is out of that mold. So, speaking of Venables, what about that defense?
Oh my God, the defense was hungry.
Yes, they were.
They were wanting that. Like 5-star meal.
What'd you say? They were really bullying them.
They were bullying Casey Thompson.
Oh,
poor guy.
They were beating him up.
They play. Casey Thompson played pretty good against us last year in Texas.
Yeah, they probably had 300 yards in the first half against us last year, and this year...
And they just choked it so badly. Yeah. Oof.
This year, no such luck. Yeah, no such luck for Casey this year.
He was like, "Damn, why did I leave Texas? This sucks."
They were putting the hurt on him, and I saw a comment from Bosworth, and he said they're swarming. And that's what it looked like. They were swarming around the ball. They had that one touchdown drive early where the guy broke behind us, but after that, we really put the clamps on them. Had a few little plays here and there, but all in all,
I like this is a more confident team. It's not one who feels like it's playing. Because a lot of problems I've had with OU for the last couple of years is that we were just at the cusp of being great, and then we pull some dumb crap, and then we start crapping out.
Yeah. Yeah, not this year. They're focused and playing to the standard.
Yeah.
I thought
that defense was just on fire most of the time. Anyway,
I thought that defensive line played well. They were
a couple of penalties there, but I'm not I like Buki levels.
Yeah, they were swarming up on Casey Thompson, and then even when Deshaun White, which he was having a great game before he
got out
targeted. I thought
Casey Thompson.
I thought the backup, the freshman Jaron Canick. We're gonna remember.
Oh
that
yeah,
name.
that guy. I think he strip the ball out of the guy's hand.
Stripped the ball and recovered it all in one move. He was a quarterback in high school. I did not know that. He didn't even play defense much in high school.
Yeah, I was about to say he was kind of a small guy.
Yeah, he's Venable said he's still learning the position, but man, what potential that kid has.
Oh,
and
Stutzman.
Stutzman had his regular solid game.
Oh yeah, he was killing it.
Uh-huh. So linebackers did well, and then I thought Billy Bowman had another good game. He came in and tripped the guy up in fourth down, and
also we finally are stopping the fourth down conversions. Thank you, Brent Venables.
Exactly. Maybe
I'm sick of them running the fourth down conversions on us.
Maybe these teams will stop running on fourth down on us since we can stop them this year. Last year it seemed like they were playing video game football where you go on it on fourth down every time, but this year we're putting a stop on them and taking that ball away from them. I was also glad to see Key Lawrence back, the safety cornerback. He had the interception there.
Yeah. That was a good interception from Brock Purdy's brother. I guess it runs in the family. Sometimes he has a thing for throwing it to the other team at critical moments.
Yeah, that was a good
one. Though we were laying the beat down on him, I'd say Iowa State's better than. I don't know how Iowa State's doing this year, but they've been good the last couple of years.
Yeah,
they've also been scrappy.
Yeah, they beat Iowa this year, so we'll have to see when.
Iowa did get like a 7-30 against a no-name team.
True.
So.
They usually lose to Iowa, so
scrappy.
That was a good little win there, and so yeah, both offense and defense looked really solid.
Yeah, there's like more. It felt more. What's the word I'm looking for? They're more cohesive.
Yeah, they're.
Wasn't like last year or wasn't like a couple years where it was like one of the teams was doing great and the other one was just crapping out.
Yeah, I think the coaches call that complimenting each other.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
One does well and the other does well, and they're just
and they're
helping
both
each other.
doing well. I mean, there you go.
Yeah, they're helping you out, and that's what happens when you beat somebody 49-14, which that last touchdown was a little.
But yeah, I like confident wins.
Yeah,
like that. It makes you feel good about the season.
Can't get too confident though.
No, yeah.
Just one game. We got some tough games coming up here. We got Kansas State. I'm not sure who we play after that.
I think we play Texas after that.
We take Texas on October the 8th, so I got that one circled.
Oh God.
And
I know Texas. I mean, Sarkisian is not great, but I am always nervous for OU Texas because they pull out all the guns when they play against us.
Yeah, and they got Gary Patterson this year, so they're gonna be formidable this year. But I think we can beat them if we keep playing like this. We can beat everybody. And my prediction from the first of the year is still intact.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. I'd be pleasantly surprised.
We're one quarter of the way there. We're 3-0 to a 12-0. So
I mean, I'd be pleasantly surprised if we got there.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. So what about Kansas State? What do you think about
Kansas?
them?
I don't. Well, like you said, they're scrappy. They're a team that don't take lightly. They'll sneak up on you.
How did they lose to Tulane?
I have no idea. I didn't see the game.
I didn't see the game either.
But I bet they're pissed after that. So
yeah, that's what scares me.
They're gonna. But then again, Nebraska was like they lost a game before they played us, and we spanked them. But Kansas State seems a bit more not in free fall like Nebraska seems to be right now.
They're formidable, and they always play us well, home or away. So that'll be a tough game for us.
I bet. I know Tom's oldest son's a K-State fan. He's always driving around. He has his K-State license plate.
Oh yeah.
I think his name's Chris.
Tom, our neighbor.
Yeah, our neighbor.
Oh, okay. Well, very good.
But
we'll have to put the beat down on him next week.
I was mad, or wasn't it? No, it was 2020. We started out 1-2.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas State beat us.
Right.
God, that was a big suck.
Who was quarterback in that year?
That was Rattler.
Oh. Speaking of Rattler.
Oh, I heard they got spanked.
Poor Rattler.
Oh.
Went to Georgia.
Went from Heisman contender to mediocrity at South Carolina.
He's going to probably have to play a 5th year to get in the NFL now. I mean, he's going to have such a crummy year this year. I think he's got 2 touchdowns and 5 interceptions this year.
Oh, my
Not
God.
good.
Damn, I fear we might have broken him.
Yeah, that Georgia team looks tough, and they put
Georgia is like Alabama when they're in their prime. Like when Alabama's dangerous, like that's Georgia right now.
Oh, I know it. They look.
We're
unbelievable.
like Alabama's kind of like good, but could be better. Alabama this year.
Yeah. Georgia looks like they're hitting on all 10, 11 cylinders, whatever how many cylinders they have. They're hitting on all of them.
I mean, hey, if we do make it to the playoffs, if we do lose to Georgia, I wouldn't be surprised. But I mean, I'd love if we beat Georgia, but we'll see.
And then Rattler played Arkansas, which Arkansas had a tough game this week. I forget who they played, some directional school, I think, but they were down at halftime and
wasn't it like 17-14 or something?
Yeah, I think they started out 17-0 or 17-7 in the hole.
Oh Lord, I hope the Arkansas fans weren't having cold sweats back to the.
I'm sure they were, but they had a big punt return to get them into the lead, and then they had another touchdown to solidify the easy win.
I mean, they got a good coach. You know what I always say. You know, it's a good coach and good players.
Right. That
maybe
helps.
good talent scouts as well. Maybe add that to the roster.
I think their quarterback's good, and he.
That dude's a mountain.
Yeah, he
I was gonna say a monster, but the dude's a mountain.
Yeah, he is.
He's a big boy.
And they stole Hazelwood from us.
I know. Yeah, I'm like, man, you went to Arkansas?
Yeah.
Okay. Hope he's doing well over there.
Yeah, I think he's doing okay. I watched a little bit of that game, and he made a few catches. No, game-breaking plays or anything like that. But he seems to be doing well. And then, what about our arch nemesis?
Texas.
No, USC.
Oh, USC. I thought you were talking about Texas. USC played Fresno State. Which I think, wow, what stiff competition. But apparently they laid the beat down on him.
Fresno State.
It makes me more resentful that they're doing better over there.
They're kind of like the Iowa State, I think. They are scrappy, but I think they did a cheap shot on their great quarterback and hurt his knee, and after that it was downhill. But Caleb Williams is having a big year. Much to my chagrin.
Yeah, I know.
And Mario Williams is highly involved in their
in their schemes.
Offense. Yeah, and then the Biletnikoff winner from last year from Pittsburgh that they lured away with the NIL deal. He's looking like a game breaker. Then they've got a running back. I think he came in also as a transfer. So they look like a juggernaut. And then how in the heck is Grinch's defense doing so well this year when he couldn't coach someone out of a paper bag last year?
Or, well, I was going to say inconsistent, but,
they
they're...
got a lot of turnovers this year.
I know. That's what makes me mad about that. I feel like it was like, if I could go 10 hat mode, it was almost like they were, like, purposely holding us back last year. And they're like, later, and they left.
They're still doing that
while
jump.
flipping the bird on the way out.
They're still doing that jump sideways on the defensive line, so I figure the Pac-12 will figure that out pretty soon, and some people will start scoring some points against them. I think they have Oregon State this week, so another, okay team, not a big challenge.
Oregon came back with a vengeance against BYU.
Yes, they did. I was surprised. BYU beats Baylor, so I'm thinking BYU's pretty good this year, and then they go and lay an egg against Oregon. Oregon put the beat down on them.
I guess Oregon got really pissed off after the Georgia loss.
Yeah.
I mean, a loss like that would probably make a lot of people mad, so I don't blame them.
They've got their new coach that they got from Georgia, and he was a guy that a lot of the Oregon, or a lot of the Oklahoma fans were looking for landing out of Georgia, so he looks like, he's going to be a pretty good coach for Oregon this year. So
can't beat Georgia, though.
No.
That was another one. I was like, think of the children, Georgia.
Poor Rattler.
Oh yeah. Oh, didn't they play Georgia?
Yeah.
Oh, bless his heart.
Yeah.
To quote my grandmother.
Uh-huh. He's probably not feeling well about his move to the SEC right now.
Yeah, no, it's SEC. Like, that's the thing. We're going to the SEC in a few years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, you want a nail biter every game?
Uh-huh. Well, you think about, you got Alabama, Georgia, so yeah, you got those two, and you're thinking about
maybe not every game. That might be a bit of an exaggeration, but like two of the best teams in college football are in the SEC. Right. So there you go.
Well, then behind them, I think like number 7's Kentucky.
Mark Stoops.
Arkansas rated number 10 this year.
Arkansas's doing. I'm glad Arkansas is doing better. I mean, I like competitive football as much as the next guy.
Then I think Tennessee's 11. They got our old quarterback up there. Yeah.
I'm like, hey, Heupel won the other day, and he's like, yeah, I saw that. They played Pittsburgh.
And I think Florida might be 13 or something. I mean, God.
Georgia Florida came back. They sucked last year.
Yeah. So it's going to be a gauntlet. I can't wait.
There's this hilarious video I showed Dad a few months ago. I think it was their old coach. Forgot the guy's name.
Oh yeah.
But the lady goes over to him before halftime. He's like, how'd you think the guys played? Awful.
Uh-huh.
He's like, what do you want to tell the players when it's over? Play better.
Well, straight and to the point. Straight and to the point. Yeah. I can't remember that guy's name. I know exactly who you're talking about. Mullins.
Mullins, yeah.
Yeah, Mullins. Yeah, I don't know where he's at.
Didn't we spank him in one of the bowls?
Yeah, I think it was the Sugar Bowl. Yeah, they laid down. I think
the only bowl win with Lincoln.
Yeah, when you go to the playoffs, you got to take advantage of that. And Lincoln never could do that, but we did get
for whatever reason.
We got that little crummy little Sugar Bowl we won against Florida.
That was a great one, though.
Yeah, that was. That was a good win. Any games around the country interest you this week? It just seemed wasn't as many upsets.
Yeah, no, there wasn't a lot of crazy. The only crazy game I saw was Appalachian State once again pulling out another barn burner.
Did you see
against Troy?
Game day was at Appalachian State.
Yeah, I know. I know. It was weird, and there were some people punking on Texas A&M like right before the ending plays, like, oh, Texas A&M got beat by Appalachian State. They got beat by Troy. 5 seconds later, dude bounces off, catches the ball, runs it in for the touchdown.
Great Hail Mary.
Appalachian State won the game.
That looks like a fun college to go to.
They should be ranked. I really think that's one of the. Uncle Ryan, he's always like, man, the ranking's so rigged. I'm like, yeah, it is. Appalachian. If it were more fair, Appalachian State should be ranked somewhere.
They might be ranked. Are they not ranked this year after beating A&M? You'd think they'd be ranked.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought. I didn't see them being ranked.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
They beat Michigan. I remember that game, 2007.
That was crazy. That was crazy. That's what put them on my map. I don't know about what everybody else knew about
from what I've heard, I think it's considered one of the best college football upsets of all time.
Yeah.
Deservedly so.
Yeah, let me see if Appalachian State is ranked here. No.
Texas is ranked?
Yeah, Texas is 22. Appalachian State, they're right there. They're really ranked about number 28, so they get another couple of wins. I don't think they're going to have any tough opponents now that they get into their league. So, what a crazy Hail Mary, though.
I know. I'm like, Dad, did you see that? He's like, no. You were doing something.
I was traveling.
Oh, yes, you were traveling. That's what you're doing.
I will not be missing any more games.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah, actually, Florida's 20. So I was a little bit off on my... But Ole Miss is in the top 25.
Oh, Ole Miss is good again?
Yeah, Baylor's back up to 17.
Well, I get... Baylor's another one I'm always nervous about because, they were really good there for a while, and then they kind of sucked again, and then they came back to being really good.
Yeah.
And the bald coach, I forgot his name. His name's like Nugent or something.
Oh.
Matt something.
You talking about from Baylor?
Yeah, Baylor.
Oh, Arandis, what is his name? Dave Arandis?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Bald guy.
Uh-huh. He's got the personality of a slug. Very boring.
Notre Dame has just been, barn burner again.
They finally won one at least.
I've heard the coach is a nice dude, but and the players like him, but man, what a struggle right at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I mean, Brian Kelly jumped out of there right at the last.
Pulled a Petrino.
Yeah, he probably knew
who Petrino is.
The talent was running dry, and he jumped out to LSU, which they're not much better. But,
even though LSU is kind of like a shadow of themselves at the moment.
At the moment, we need Coach Froggy back. Go Tigers!
Yeah, go Tigers! I love that guy. I was sad he got canned.
Yeah.
I'm like, I remember them. I was listening to something. He's like, yeah, these guys got high standards. Dude went to the national championship a few years ago. Next couple of years, he gets fired. I was like, yeah. It kind of sounds like us.
Yeah. Any big games coming up this week that you're looking forward to that you know of, or obviously Oklahoma, Kansas State looks like. I
mean, I don't know. Oh no, wait. Oh, those are games from last week.
Yeah.
I haven't heard about a lot of games. I don't know what the big games are this week.
Well, Georgia is playing a team that OU played, Kent State, this week.
Oh God, bless their hearts.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I heard they had like a really hard schedule, like Washington, us, and then some like no-name team. Georgia. I'm like, oh my gosh.
And they were at all of those places, at Washington, at OU, at Georgia. So that's tougher than what Rattlers faced.
Oof.
Looks like.
I gotta give it though. I mean, Kent State's got some talent, but I don't know if they talented. I don't know is going to cut it against Georgia. Georgia is just like I said when they're basically like when Alabama's on their A game, like dangerous opponent.
Yeah, it looks like Florida and Tennessee are going to hook it up. So there's one. That should
be a good one.
That's one of those SEC college matchups that we're going to be facing here soon.
That should be a good one.
Yeah. So I don't know if any other big games. I haven't really paid attention this week since being on my trip, but I'll get more into it after that.
But yeah, not a lot of big games. Texas played some no-name team and struggled. That's cause for firing right there. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a Texas fan. Never will be. Yeah, like I said, I've been conditioned in the ways of the Sooner.
Yeah, I think
if they don't clean up their act, I'm sure they're gonna fire Sarkisian soon.
I think they've got Texas Tech this week at Texas Tech.
Oh my God! Well, they could win that one. I mean, if Sarkisian doesn't pull a Lincoln Riley again, I think he could win that one because A&M's looking real suspect right now.
Yeah, up one game, down the next game for A&M. So.
Yeah, I mean, Jimbo Fisher is not a bad coach at all. He beat Saban in Alabama last year.
Right.
I mean, barely, but he still won.
That was a big win for them, but he lost to Appalachian State this year. So
yeah, I know. That's a hard one to come back from.
Distant memory. Looks like Clemson's got Wake Forest this week. That looks like a pretty top 25 matchup.
Not a Dabo Sweeney fan, but I don't know really what to expect from that game.
Yeah, he helped our guy out. So
I was about to say, I don't think he'd be as well regarded as he is without Venables. I mean, him and Venables built a dynasty over there.
True. Then Baylor's playing Iowa State at Iowa State. That might be a good one.
Could be. Yeah, they're both scrappy.
What about those Kansas Jayhawks at 3-0?
I saw they beat West Virginia the other day, and I was like, okay, Kansas.
Not only are they 3-0, they're 1-0 in the Big 12. They're sitting on top of the rankings.
I know I'm like good for you, Kansas. I'm glad that you're finally getting out of the weird Cleveland Brown state you've been in for the past ever since I've been around. I'll put it that way.
We've got the Duke Blue Devils coming to town versus Kansas, which if this was in November or February, that'd be a big game if it was a basketball game. But who would have thought this would be a big game in football? Duke versus Kansas. So.
I guess we'll see. When was the last time Kansas was good? Mangino?
Yeah, that was the last time they were any good. Then Notre Dame has to go play your old buddy Mac Brown.
Oh. Yeah, I know. I thought Mac was retired for good, and last year I saw him a few years ago. I'm like, oh, I guess Mac Brown still has a couple tricks up his sleeve. And then last year he was kind of crapping out. I'm like, oh, maybe he was just a fluke. And then he's doing pretty well this year too. So I don't know. I guess he just likes the rhythm of being a coach. I thought he was retired for good after his stint at Texas.
Yeah, his wife's named Sally, so Sally might have wanted him out of the house. Then we got Oregon versus Washington State, so I'm sure Tony will be excited about that game.
Yeah, we have a friend named Tony. He's also a big sports guy. Loves the Seahawks.
Yeah, he's a big Seahawks fan, big WSU fan. Hates the Thunder because they
used to be the Supersonics.
Right, so he's mad at us for that. So I don't know why he moved here, to be honest with you.
I thought it was because of a job.
It was, but hates OU football. So then Arkansas is at A&M this week.
Wait, I thought Texas was playing A&M.
No, they're playing Texas Tech.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Texas
But
A&M.
I believe that Arkansas at A&M game might be in Jerry World down in Dallas.
Ooh.
So that's a big game that we'll have to tune into. And then
either that'll be really good or it's going to look really bad.
Yeah. And then Wisconsin's at Ohio State.
That could either be really good or Ohio State lands another beatdown on Wisconsin.
Yeah, and then SC is at Oregon State, like I mentioned earlier. So really not too many big games out there this week, but some to keep us interested all day. And we've got that primetime game against Kansas State at home, so hopefully they'll have the strobe lights on again this week quite often.
Oh yes, I did hear recently that apparently we are not going to be doing a Iowa State thing where we're going to be playing them still, even though we're not in the same conference.
You talking about against Oklahoma State?
Yes. Apparently, Bedlam is coming to an end, and that makes me kind of sad.
Well, OSU, they don't want to play us, actually. That's the way I see it. They could make it happen if they wanted to.
Who did OSU play last week? Were they on a bye?
They played Arkansas Pine Bluff. It was 63-7.
Yeah, that was
Gunnar Gundy actually threw a touchdown pass in that game. That's Gundy's son.
Oh.
Grew up around the program, and now he's on the team, and so he actually got in the game.
I mean, they're lucky to have Mike Gundy. I mean, he's a OSU born and bred man.
He is indeed. Midwest City Bomber to OSU, and coached a few places before coming back to OSU, and now I think he's the winningest coach of all time at OSU. So
he's a man. He's 40.
Yeah, he's a man. He's at least 40.
I think he's in his 50s. Man.
Yeah, he's probably is. But you know what? I like Gundy. I like
he has a lot of personality.
Yeah, he's brash. Wore that mullet well. So.
But yeah, it's maybe it's not as iconic as OU Texas, but OU OSU, man.
We'll miss it when it's gone.
Oh.
And they'll miss it when it's gone too.
Yeah.
That was the only reason they were able to sell season tickets there at OSU, because everybody wanted to go to the OU game. So you had to go to the OU game. You had to buy season tickets. That ploy's going to be gone.
Yeah, Grampy, my grandfather, Grampy would take me to OSU games, and I just felt so alien over there. They did play Texas once, and I was like, okay, I feel a little better now.
You could root for them against Texas.
Yeah. But I'd always go there, being like OSU, I'd be like, what am I doing right now?
Your skin was burning off.
I feel so dirty right now. We'd go home and be like, I had a good time,
Yeah, and who lost to the Jets this week that we were talking about?
Oh, yeah, the Browns?
The Browns lost to the Jets?
They choked in 90 seconds.
Yeah.
In NFL, anyway. Oh, those Browns. Even when they're doing well, they can't help but suck. It's just, it's brutal.
Yeah. Oh, well. And then Baker's looking for his first win, so...
I know. I was like, you're going from a team that's on the rebuild to actually being good to another sucky team? Like, come on.
That's the only team he could kind of sign on with, so he had to do what he had to do.
And why? No one else likes him?
I guess not. There's too much baggage around him, I guess, with his brash talk and all that. So some teams don't like that.
He does love his trash talk.
And then we're filming this on or recording this on Thursday night, so
Steelers are playing the Browns right now.
Yeah, I think the Browns are leading. So
we were eating, and I saw them screw up the field goal, and I was like, "How did they miss that?" But
it happens. I'm not sure what the score is now since we've been recording, but
yeah, I mean, OU is looking dangerous.
We are looking dangerous, playing dangerous, and if we can just keep it that.
Keep up the good work. I think we could do something special.
If we can just keep that Venables standard up, I think we're going to be in great shape.
A natty in the near future? Possibly.
Possibly. I think so.
I'd love to see OU win a national championship again. And sadly, we're not as fortunate as Alabama and win every couple of years.
Well, teams rise and fall. I think we're ready to rise here again. We've got our OU guy back with us. We don't have that Texas Tech trash here anymore. We've got our Oklahoma blood and Bob Stoops mold. And I know the former players are commenting. I saw a tweet from Isaiah Thomas and said, "These boys be playing this year." Or something
I think I saw that one too.
Yeah, and I know Gus said something's different this year.
Yeah, I love that. I was like, we've covered Oklahoma a lot of years.
Yeah.
You guys are looking different.
We always had the offense. Lincoln always had the offense, but could never put the defense together, and it seems like we've got it both sides of the ball this year and the kicking game.
Yeah, I was about to say offense was more like Lincoln's forte.
Being more aggressive on the returns, so I like that. We're not always fair catching it every time. Got to get that kicker a little more confidence. Obviously, Turk's booming the punts.
Oh, yeah, that guy has a YouTube channel. He's called, like, Hangman or something.
We'll have to check that out. We got anything else we want to talk about today?
I don't know.
There's not much drama when you're kicking everybody's butt, right?
I know, yeah. We're actually looking pretty good right now.
Yeah.
So, not a lot of head shaking.
Yeah.
Like I said, maybe we should have started this last year when there was just a bunch of head shaking at OU. Like, what are you doing?
I'll tell you where there's a lot of head shaking right now.
Texas?
Lincoln, Nebraska.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Ooh.
Yeah. Those
what
guys look sad.
what a shadow of a former juggernaut.
They bring back their golden boy, Frost, Heisman Trophy winner.
Just didn't pan out.
Just couldn't get it done.
They had talent, too. That guy, Martinez, he was good.
Yeah,
quarterback last year.
Yeah, he's the Kansas State quarterback this year.
Oh, Well, I was about to say, oh, okay. I was wondering where he went. I'm like, did he go to the NFL already?
He put up 350 yards against us last year, but...
talented dude, that guy.
Yeah, he's a good runner, but for him to be able to put 350 passing yards up against us last year, that just lets you know how bad our defense was. So,
well, like I said, I would have said inconsistent, but
Yeah, it was pitiful.
What? Oh, okay. he's letting the cat in, but yeah, OU's looking pretty good this year, man. Not really much else to say. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, I'm sure I'm sure there is a lot of head shaking in Nebraska right now.
I think we can end it with this. Boomer!
Sooner!
Have a great week. Go OU, and let's beat Kansas State. And let's do our Days of the Sooners next week.
This has been yet another episode of Days of Our Sooners.
Dun, dun, dun.
Once again, I hear the music.